For the second time in just 3 days, Greece has reportedly disrupted NATO missions. That's according to the Turkish National Defense Ministry, which said that 2 Turkish aircraft carrying out a NATO mission over the Aegean Sea were harassed by Greek F-16 jets on Wednesday. The Greek fighters allegedly locked their radar onto Turkish planes that were carrying out NATO missions. On Tuesday, the same incident occurred when Turkish jets were flying over the eastern Mediterranean. Turkish defense officials said that their aircraft responded with full force and that the issue was conveyed to NATO authorities. The 2 neighbours have a string of disputes in the Aegean and eastern Mediterranean, including Greece's militarization of islands and the right to explore for natural gas. The violent pushback of migrants by Greece has also been a source of tensions with Ankara. So how serious will this latest incident be, and how could it be potentially disrupt the NATO alliance? And to discuss this latest flare-up, joining me now from Istanbul is Helin Ertem. She is an associate professor at Istanbul Medeniyet University. And also from Istanbul, Byron Matarangas. He is a professor of international law at Bahcesehir University. A warm welcome to you both, and thanks for joining me on Straight Talk. So, Helin, talk to us about the significance of this latest incident between Turkey and Greece during Turkey's NATO mission over the Aegean.
Well, actually, this is not the first case. This is not the first harassment from the Greek side, unfortunately. Greece is from time to time trying to direct the attention on the Aegean Sea, but in a very negative way by kind of getting into dogfights with Turkey. For that reason, we are witnessing another example of that behavior. I guess, there's a kind of attempt from the Greek side to keep the international society's attention on the Aegean dispute between Turkey and Greece, but at the same time trying to show that Greece is the rightful side. Unfortunately, it's not the right timing for Greece because Turkey has been increasing its positive image in the international atmosphere because of this grain deal between Ukraine and Russia and a possible energy deal in the future between the 2 countries as well. For that reason, I can say that, yes, Greece is trying to do something, but in a way, it's not the right time.
So, Byron, airspace violations between the 2 countries are nothing new, but why have they significantly increased lately? And does this latest one stand out from the previous ones?
The last incident is not a new kind of incident. We know that there is a disagreement between the 2 neighbor countries so far as the airspace of Greece is concerned. Greece has decided to have an airspace of 10 miles, while the waters, the territorial waters are 6 miles.
Yes.
There is a difference of 4 miles, and this is a matter of dispute. But what happened recently is another kind of this opposition. Turkish allegation is that Greek pilots blocked Turkish aircraft. Greeks refuse this allegation.
Yes.
They say no, that the Greek pilots didn't block Turkish aircraft. And I tried to check Greek news. To be sincere, I didn't understand. They don't describe this incident clearly. I know Greek, but I didn't understand what they pretend in their news bulletins.
Yes.
They say that there has been an incident, but the Greek pilots didn't block the Turkish aircraft. That is something new. They pretend that Turkish aircraft entered Greece's FIR.
Yes. So, Helin, how would this latest tensions affect the credibility and the security of NATO missions over these bodies of water?
For a long time, I've been saying that NATO actually has quite rooted problems. It's not only about Ukraine. There are many more problems inside NATO, among the NATO members, including Turkey and Greece. When we are talking about the so-called success of NATO, that it has been older than 70 years now, the success is related to its ability to prevent its own members to fight against each other. For that reason, this Greek behavior, let's say, to increase the tension all the time against Turkey is a kind of lack of trust, this is showing the lack of trust between the members, especially regarding Greece, in my point of view, because somehow it's trying to create a kind of imbalance inside the alliance against Turkey. However, the balance between these two allies inside the NATO membership is quite significant for the future of NATO. So I do believe that this kind of behavior, if they continue, this will harm Greece more than anyone.
So, Byron, what could NATO do to de-escalate tensions between the two allies? And if that doesn't work, could these practices boil into an all-out conflict?
Well, yes, a conflict cannot be excluded, unfortunately, and the conflict cannot be excluded because Greece is encouraged by the support and the protection given to Greece by Uncle Sam. You know, Uncle Sam, by this term, we refer to the government of the United States, the American government. It is true that President Biden, who even presented himself to Prime Minister Mitsotakis as Bidenopoulos or Bidenakis at the entrance of the White House when Prime Minister Mitsotakis visited Washington, he wanted to show by changing his name to a Greek name, Bidenopoulos, or even he said Bidenakis, like Mitsotakis. Family names ending in Akis are originated from Crete, from the Crete Islands. And Mitsotakis is from Crete. The Mitsotakis family, a whole dynasty, are from Crete, from Chania. But Biden is not from Crete. Biden is not from Greece. Biden is from Delaware, USA. But he wanted to show how close he is to Greece and to Greeks, and how he supports, how he defends, how he protects Greece. And Greece, having the support and having the protection and feeling that Greece is under the umbrella of the United States.
Mm-hmm. So, Helin, are these flare-ups likely to continue until the two countries hold general elections next year?
Yeah, this is directly related to the domestic policies of the two countries as well. But at the same time, it's about national defense. For that reason, nobody will step back regarding these issues. But at the same time, I guess it is worth reminding Greece that if you pull the rope too much, then there's a risk of breaking it off. For that reason, I guess neither Greece nor Turkey nor the other NATO members need a new tension, a new, especially armed conflict in the region, while the Ukrainian problem is still going on, while Europe is face to face a new energy crisis this winter. For that reason, I guess especially the United States will do and should do everything to prevent such kind of tension.
So, Byron, we know that the negotiations between the US and Turkish officials on the sale of its F-16s to Turkey are going on. So what do you think are the major sticking points between the two countries when it comes to the sale of F-16s?
Well, I fear that the United States are going to use Greece as a means, as as an instrument of their policy against Turkey. I fear, but this is the feeling I have. And I say it in Greece. I say it to Greek channels when I am invited to speak, or even I write articles in a Greek newspaper, and I say that I fear that Uncle Sam, President Bidenopoulos, is going to use Greece as an instrument as he used the Ukraine. This is my fear, and I tell it explicitly. You see, nowadays, this is how wars happen, by third means, through third countries, using them as their own representatives.
Yes.
We have the war Russia-Ukraine, but indeed it is about a war between USA and United Kingdom and Russia. And Russia, both United States and United Kingdom, both together, use Ukraine against Russia. And they say, okay, you are going to fight, we will give you arms, but when we say we will give you arms, certainly they don't mean with free of charge, certainly not.
Yes.
No, Ukrainians are going to pay for these arms. We will give you arms, but you are going to fight.
Okay.
You are going to fight. Yes.
So, Helin, moving on from the current situation and tensions, are some of Turkey's allies restraining their criticism when it comes to disputes in the Aegean and Eastern Mediterranean, as well as its fight against terrorism and its southern border?
Definitely, this is the problem on the Turkish side, especially because this is creating a huge lack of confidence from Turkish side towards the NATO alliance. Unfortunately, regarding the problems in the south of Turkey, in Syria, especially on the terrorism issue, the fight against PKK and YPG, Turkey is feeling quite lonely. But it keeps telling the outside world that this is something very related to Turkey's national security and national unity. For that reason, Turkey will somehow do everything to prevent any kind of attack against Turkey. Whether it's alone or together with allies, Turkey will continue its fight against terrorism. The issue with Sweden and Finland is related to the same topic.
Yes.
It's going on. The meetings are going on in Europe today, in Finland, between Turkish officials and Finnish and Swedish officials as well, regarding their possible NATO membership. So I guess our Western allies, especially the NATO allies, should do much more,
yes,
at least to end Turkey's lack of confidence regarding the terrorism issue.
All right, Helin and Byron, we're out of time. Thank you very much for joining me on Straight Talk.